Nice. What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Kush back at again with another Young Guns podcast episode. And with me right here, as you can see, is the man himself, LPG, license plate guy. Shout out to license plate guy for coming on here. How you doing, bro?
What's happening, man? I'm doing all right. It's Wednesday, so don't worry about anything that happened a few days ago, man.
Well, we're going to have to talk about it because that's just how Giants fans are. And then, of course, my mentality is on to the Bears. You said the same thing. You might as well get over it. You said you got over it in about 24 hours. But shout out to everybody in the chat, Edward Chen and Ligma. What was your immediate thoughts, though, man? What were you looking at when you look back at that game?
Oh, man. First of all, you do have to get over it quick, man. This is football. Every week's a new week, so you can't bring it into the following week. In a Monday night game, by Wednesday your ass has to start thinking about the other opponent, working on what the problems were with the loss from the previous week. To be honest with you, I'm tired of starting 0-1.
Oh, hold up.
I saw some positive things. I was really happy with the defense flying around the ball. I thought that the team was poised. I thought that they were together, together blue. I thought that the pass blocking versus the sack happy Steelers was good.
The pass blocking was good. I'll give you that. Shout out to the rookie Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you want to highlight a couple of plays that Thomas missed, go ahead. If you want to highlight a couple plays that Cam Fleming, a few more plays than Thomas, missed, you could do that too. And all the talk today with Tiki Barber and everybody else jumping on social media, destroying Barkley for his pass blocking. Okay, I'll say this. I watched the game, and I watched it again, and then I watched it a third time because I couldn't sleep. Mm-hmm. And he definitely has his share of miscues when it comes to pass blocking. He also had some really good blocks. So please don't sit there and tell me that he's not an every down blocker. I mean, an every down running back, because he is. Mm-hmm. So I love Tiki. I always will. I always have. Totally disagree with him. Mm-hmm. And a lot of Giant fans are going to jump down his throat because you know why. This isn't the first time Tiki's going to be wrong about something. He was wrong about Eli. He opened his mouth about the organization and Eli, and he inserted his foot. Other than that, don't talk about Barkley like that.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Real quick, let me get to the super chat. Shout out to OGR Sports, another great Giants creator. You guys should check him out for the $5 super chat. He says, "What is up, LPG?" Also, BBS is late. He's talking about my co-host, who unfortunately couldn't make it this stream, guys. He has some come up. I am ready to move on to the Bears. Yeah, man. Like LPG said it, bro. By Wednesday, you got to get over it. Oh, man, you bring up a good point. I was actually going to bring up the Tiki comments later on in the stream because I didn't even see that until just now. I got off doing my work. I went on Twitter, and all of a sudden, all I see is this Saquon slander out of nowhere. It's funny because even before week 1, people have just been getting on Saquon's case. I've heard talks about, oh, we shouldn't have went running back second overall and all that. I'm just like, why is this a thing anymore? And then because the running game didn't get going, which is not Saquon's fault. This man was tackled as soon as he got the ball in his hand. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, what do you think, man?
I don't understand the hatred towards him.
And I see you rocking the Saquon T-shirt as well.
I did it today. I did it today for this dude. You know what? I don't like the hatred. You're talking about such a ridiculously good running back. He'll figure out his blocking. You know what? One last thing about the Tiki thing that kind of bothered me was, somebody else that I know had a problem as well. And a fumbling. And if it wasn't for Tom Coughlin, he figured it out with Tiki and fixed him. So why is it okay for somebody else not to be given a break and let him figure out his negatives and figure that out? And when I say negatives, I'm not saying Tiki fumbled every time he touched it. I'm not saying that Barkley misses every block every time he goes out there for pass blocking. So So I don't want to hear that crap anymore. Listen, let it go already with the Barkley. You know how I am with this week, and I said, let's go Bears. I didn't want a running back when Barkley was picked. I was very boisterous about going to get a quarterback. Do I like having Barkley? Yes. Did I like the pick at the time? Yes. But I also wanted not a running back. You're going to sit here and argue years later about the same crap? Get over it.
And it's so frustrating because it was Giants fans. It's like we have bigger problems to worry about than that, yo. Like, you want to worry about something, worry about the O-line improving in the run game. I love how they did in the pass game. The O-line in the pass game against TJ Watt, Bud Dupree, they were good. They were good. Hey,
Daniel Jones was running for his life too, man. Let's not get crazy here. But I was pleasantly surprised that he had a lot of time in the pocket on a lot of those plays. And if you're a Giants fan and you're going to rip apart the team for Daniel Jones on a couple of plays running for his life, or a little more than a couple, running for his life, stop it. Start looking at the positives that we're getting out of this and not always the negatives.
Facts. And speaking of Daniel Jones, this man, am I overstating when I say he looked like a top 15 quarterback that night? In my opinion, that was probably one of his best games, if not his best game as a pro. Even though we lost, I love DJ straight carried the offense.
Yeah, I'm not going so far as to say one of his best games. I mean, his 2 picks. Look, I want to talk about that real quick. I took a lot of crap on social media about this, where I said that it wasn't his fault, the second one. The first one, we know, whatever. The second pick that he threw, that was a 19-play drive. I wonder the last time any of us have seen a 19-play drive from the Giants, let alone it ended with no points at a turnover, which absolutely crushed my soul. It literally was the dagger of the game. But when I said on Twitter that if you're blaming Daniel Jones for that, then you don't know football, everybody came back at me. A lot of people were like, oh, you're right. But a lot of people were really crushing me like, dude, who the hell's fault was it then? Obviously, it's Daniel Jones for making the throw. But when he's won that particular play, running for his life, he should have thrown it at Barkley's feet. He should have thrown it into the crowd. He should have thrown it out of the freaking stadium, but he was trying to make a play happen, and he tried to throw it out of the end zone, okay, too late, which makes it his fault. I hear you, but he's trying to make a play, and Bud Dupree, whose wingspan is 19 feet, okay, happened to hit his arm, and that was a terrible, terrible, terrible turnover. But give the guy a break trying to make something happen. Is it his fault? Ultimately, he's the one that threw the ball.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's his fault because I didn't like the play call at all. Why would you fake Saquon to the left? All the defenders are baited. They're already there at the left. And then as soon as DJ runs out, of course, Bud Dupree's already there because he was going to go for Saquon on the fake.
You're not wrong. Listen, I broke down that game film a bunch of times. There were multiple times that the Giants did not have enough blocking for the amount of people that were on the defensive side. I saw, 7 on 8, 8 on 9. And if you're leaving one of those guys open and you're not sending a fullback or you're not bringing in another tight end to block one of those guys, you're going to get crushed every time. Mm-hmm. Back to what you said about the play call, though, nah, I don't want to hear that, okay? Because unless it's a draw play on 3rd and 8, and then you could crush the offense coordinator, I'm never going at my offense coordinator for making a play call, because let's say you and I are back here talking about the same play and it turned into a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Would you not like that play? Would you not like it, Bud Dupree? What if Bud Dupree got sucked in and it was a great fake? Then you'd be like, oh, shoot, that's a good play call. So you got to be really careful when somebody, not you, people, you have to be really careful. Like, oh, what a sucky call. Oh, yeah, but if it worked, you would have loved it, right?
Hindsight's 2020. That's what I'll say.
Hindsight's 2020, bro.
Exactly. Speaking of DJ, though, what were your overall thoughts on his performance? I mean, this was somebody else because of that second pick. I think it's completely unwarranted. Not necessarily the hate, but like just the way people behave towards DJ after the game.
Let me tell you something. Do you not recall the hatred that Eli took? So welcome Daniel Jones to the hate club. He's going to have to go 25 for 25 for 400 yards and 4 TDs for him to not get any hate. He's going to get it. He'll accept it, and we'll move on. I think his performance overall was good. I didn't think it was great. I thought he put a couple of beautiful balls right on the money. That pass, the step up, the staying in the pocket. He delivered a pass, I believe, to Caden Smith, where he stayed in the pocket, backpedaled, got crushed, and still delivered the ball. So his poise in the pocket, I'm really liking. His interceptions, I'm not. The last interception, could you imagine if he fumbled it instead of interception? Could you imagine what the hateful Giant crowd would have done to him?
They would have killed him. They would have killed him. And Jesus, you know what? Thank God he didn't fumble at all. I think there was one play where some people say it was a fumble, but they ruled it an incomplete pass. Listen, to me, he did not fumble, and I'm thankful for that. If he fumbled once, it would have been over, bro. They would have gone on.
It doesn't, and it's funny you say that because it doesn't matter what game he fumbles. It's gonna be versus the Ravens. The few games before the end of the season, he's gonna fumble the ball once and be like, he sucks. You'll see it. It's only a matter of time.
Once again, guys, if you got any questions for LPG here, just toss them in the comments. Shout out to Mike Nixon, Jersey Life, made by Harlem. And Bradley, as soon as I said that, with a question for you, LPG. He says, LPG, thoughts on what Thomas did versus Josh Allen in college? Also a huge fan here. Do you know what Thomas did versus Josh Allen in college?
I appreciate that. I posted some of those videos, Thomas and Josh Allen. I mean, look. Do they not speak for themselves, my man? And I appreciate, Bradley. I appreciate you being a fan. I'm a fan of yours, bro. You rock the Giants. I'm a fan of yours.
Shout out to OGR Sports with the $10 donation. Thank you so much, man. He says, I feel you, LPG. I preach patience and let the puppies grow. I would like to see more audibles at the line from Daniel, depending on what the defense shows. That being said, he's a second-year QB.
All right, so you're 100% correct. Let the puppies grow. I kind of like that. I might use that, so I appreciate that. But, you know, being a Giants fan, did you see that? Did you see that post that I put up the other day? I think I stole it from CBS Sports in regards to the Giants have the worst record since whatever year in all the NFL.
I think since 2017. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, that's disgusting, bro. That really tugged on my heartstrings because getting back to his point right there, we don't have a lot of patience. And trying to, I have no patience in my real life, and yet with the Giants I find that I have more patience than anything. I try to be the voice of reason, even though, you know, enough's enough. This losing mentality that's creeped into our minds is just unacceptable. How long do we have to sit and wait? How long do we have to be patient? So you know, you're trying to tell a New Yorker to chill out. You know, how does that work? You know, like, hey, patience. Yeah, okay, F you. You know what I mean? So it's hard. I'll continue to preach it. I'll continue to say that we're growing. We have a very young team. And if it's not this year, then it's next year. And I'll keep saying that until the Giants win the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Brad, Joseph out here, saying, LPG, your collection is so cool. And you can see a little bit of his collection there, actually. What shirts do you have in the background right there, man? As he opens the full closet.
So it goes back that way and back that way. I was about 400 jerseys. Oh, he said behind me. My bad. So it's actually one of my favorite pieces. This is actually, those are like patches that were made, and I put them on with grommets with like zip ties, but that was only when I had like 15 plays. Now I got 90. I should have him make me another. These are players' cleats that I'll get rid of to charities. Some are signed, some are not, but there's a bunch of them that
I see the only a giant, once a giant, only a giant. That's probably my favorite one there.
Yeah, these pieces you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had these done. They're metal, and I had like 20 of them. I think I gave them up for charity, and I just gotta, honestly, It's just a bunch of crap, bro. Don't forget, I've been doing this so long that it takes a long time to accumulate all this stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, one day I'll take you into the garage and show you the stuff in there.
Yo, guys, listen, you gotta go on Twitter. You gotta at the Giants. You gotta get this man the Giants Fan of the Year award because it's a travesty he hasn't gotten it yet.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I never toot my own horn like that, and I appreciate.
Yo, that's why
that.
we're here, bro, to do it for you.
I do appreciate that, but the last time, this is funny. I don't think I've ever told anybody this. So you're breaking news right here. I just once asked the Giants, like, yo, come on,
help a brother out.
Right, not even saying anything. I just was like, come on, what's up? And the answer, let's just say the answer I got was, I'm too well known, if that makes any sense to you, because it didn't to me.
It doesn't to me. Nah, it doesn't.
It didn't to me neither.
I can't even find a reason why they'd say that. Jesus Christ.
Neither do I. So, and I'm not talking about fan of the year. I'm talking about on the videos, putting me on the board, you name it. It doesn't matter. Like they just took a step back and was like, we got to get the whole fan base involved. And to be honest with you, that's kind of cool to put people that never get on TV or never do this or never do that. That is cool. And I always say Giant fans rock together. So if they want to choose someone different to do some stuff, I'm cool with it.
Exactly. By the way, Toast out here saying, LPG, you want to switch houses?
Say no more. Say no more. Hey, good luck dusting all this stuff. Good luck taking care of it.
Yo, how long did it take you to like clean all of that? Like, how often do you do it?
I had so much stuff. Can you see the upper corner up there? I had to put. Is that where it is? Hold on. Right up there. I had to put cameras in my basement.
I see it. Yeah, I see one camera up there.
I'm trying. I had one in the corners. I had to put it in because I was like, God damn! I could just imagine, like, I don't know, someone wanting to switch houses with me.
Forcibly switching houses. All right, Bradley out here saying it's a museum for the best teams memorabilia. What's your favorite?
If you have Bradley, you know what? I do have a ton of stuff. And then obviously, I made the man garage. That's where all the cleats are literally hanging with players' names on it and stuff like that. Some just collectibles I like to put out there, and who
knows any favorite pieces?
Wow, my favorite pieces. Probably my Odell game worn everything from jersey to pants to socks to cleats. Other than that, I have just special items that means a lot to me. Like,
what about that Jeep?
That Jeep is special to me. Yeah, that Jeep is special to me. So there's a lot of stuff that one accumulates for years. So, you don't just get stuff. You don't just go online and buy it. Like, I want to get things that mean a lot to me, or some things that were made for me by other fans. Like, hey, I made a picture of you. Can I send it to you? What? Are you kidding me? Of course you can send that to me. And like, can I give you something? Like, I really appreciate stuff like that. So I have meaningful stuff to me.
Exactly. That's pretty cool, man. And kind of steering it back to football here. We got a couple questions about one guy that I was not very happy with Monday night. Give me your thoughts on Evan Ingram.
Okay, so Ingram had a bad game. And that's one person that needed to have a good game.
He's been on the hot seat, man.
He is. I tweeted that Evan Ingram had a terrible game. I said Evan Ingram's going to have a good year, and I'm sticking with that. I think he's healthy. I think he's dangerous. I saw him get blown off the ball a couple of times in the blocking, and that's been, a problem of his. The drops, the first pass,
the very first pass, and in and out.
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
You know what it reminded me of? The Giants had an offensive tackle that had a horrible year, and then the next year, all 70-something thousand people were watching him the first play of the next year. And what the heck did Eric Flowers do? He tripped the guy the first play of the next year. And whose eyes? Everybody's eyes was on Evan Ingram. You know, this guy's got to step up. This guy's got to step up. This guy's got to, and he drops the ball. So he has to step up. I swear to you, I do believe in him. I think he's gonna do all right.
Shout out to OGR Sports coming in clutch once again with the $5 donation. He says, LPG, what's your most underrated Giant in your lifetime?
In my lifetime, I've been around a long time, bro. Could I give you like top 3?
Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna give you like top 3. I don't think Joe Morris gets his due. Back in the day, the little running back, he did a lot for the Giants. I don't think Chase Blackburn.
I remember Chase Blackburn.
I don't think Chase Blackburn gets enough for how intelligent he was as a linebacker in passing game. The coverage like on Gronk. I just don't think he gets enough. He was always signing like 1-year deals and 1-year deals. This guy should have been paid. So I think he was definitely underrated. And you know what? I for some reason, I'm going to go back in the day. I have a ton. I have 10 I could give you. But I think I'm going to say Carl Banks.
I think Carl Banks is getting more recognition now because of how involved he is with the Giants now.
Correct. And I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. But a lot of people say that, he's all those linebackers. Brian Kelly, Byron Hunt, Andy Hedden, Carl Banks, all those guys that played along.
The Crunch Bunch.
Crunch Bunch is Van Pelt, Kelly, Taylor, and Carson. Carson's in the Hall of Fame. Lawrence Taylor's in the Hall of Fame. Lawrence Taylor says Brian Kelly is the one that taught him how to play linebacker. He owes everything to him. So, it's people like that played with Lawrence Taylor that probably don't get their due. But I could give you 10 guys from recent history as well. But that's a great question, man. I'm glad he asked that.
One of my subs out here saying Hakeem Nicks, Rodney Hampton, Seahorn for his 3.
So actually those are pretty good 3. Hakeem Nicks.
I feel like Hakeem Nicks is not necessarily underrated. I feel like he gets the recognition that's he's worthy of.
I think he does and he doesn't. He's in limbo because of his feet, his foot. His foot. If his feet weren't bothering him, he could have been one of the best Giant receivers ever. So I don't think he doesn't get as much as he should, but he can't get it because it was cut short. Rodney Hampton was awesome for the Giants. I'd go Joe Morris over Rodney Hampton as far as underrated because Rodney Hampton got his due. Rodney Hampton was a beast. And Seahorn, I mean, look, Seahorn was Seahorn until coach put him on special teams and wrecked his knee. And then he was never the same either.
That's why everybody was so skeptical when it was announced Jabril was going to start special teams.
Yeah, so I'm older than you.
Yeah.
So when I read that, I started like getting a tick. But I've come around in that thinking. I think that you know what? If he's on the team, throw his ass out there. I used to not think that way, but you know what changed my mind? I was in Cleveland, and they put OBJ back to field a punt. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then I was like, wait a minute. That's your star receiver. And he's going to put it on. Wouldn't you know, the son of a bitch runs it back for a touchdown. DeMontre Moore got a penalty. It was called back. But the son of a gun ran it back, and it was beautiful to see. And I started thinking, like, yeah, if you got that kind of talent, use that kind of talent. So yeah, I like his 3. You know what? I'm gonna add one more. Amani Toomer.
Amani Toomer is the best Giants receiver in Giants history.
Right, but does he get that credit elsewhere?
Nope.
All right, so let's go with him.
Yeah. Jaden Dawkins in here saying in his lifetime he'll pick Corey Webster.
Okay, you know what, Jaden? That's a good pick too. Although, at one point Corey was the lockdown. I think Corey got his due. I think Kenny Phillips would have got his due if he stayed healthy. Aaron Ross, T2, Thomas. I don't know, man. I don't know about that Webster one. Webster was good.
We got a Cowboys fan in here, but he's a great supporter of the channel. Mark Primetime. He says, LPG, I know you go to every Giants game. Did you ever meet Crazy Ray from the Cowboys?
Yes, I did. And let me tell you something, Mark. There's two things. One, you have this woman too that I meet at the draft every year. She's actually really cool. She's a super fan. I made my way in hostile territory all the way up to, I forgot what section. They're behind the Dallas bench up top. The guys that dance, those four guys or whatever. Yo, Mark, have you been to is he from here or from Dallas? Because if he hasn't gone to AT&T, missing out, bro. Because that stadium
is AT&T Stadium better than MetLife?
It's best in the league.
But you haven't been to the new LA one though.
No, and I'm going in a few weeks. I don't know if there's going to be fans, but I got my ticket, so I'm gonna go anyway just to check out the stadium. If I could get in, I could get in. If I can't, I'll look at the outside.
That's the thing. It kind of sucks. The Giants are not allowing fans, but there's a good amount of other teams that are allowing certain fans.
No. The Giants will allow fans. Just on right now.
They turned it back?
No. They'll allow fans. Trust me.
Okay.
Trust me. I got some. Hey,
inside sources.
I got some information.
Okay, bet. Because I'm like, it's so weird. They were like, them and the Jets are like the only teams in the league that said they're not allowing fans, but every other team is.
No. Untrue. It was Philly that started it. Then the Jets and the Giants went at it, said it, and then you got the dumbest thing. 14%, 22%, 31%. I don't even understand that crap. But you know what? You know what's unfair? They have X amount of percent that are allowed at games, and then the tickets are being sold on the secondary market for like 15 times its value because there's only X amount left.
Exactly. So real quick, shout out to Afghanistan in the chat. Mike, if it's buffering, that's not on my end. Me and LPG are seeing and hearing each other fine. It has to be on YouTube's end, but I haven't heard anybody else saying that is buffering. Toast out here saying, I feel like Hub is playing to steal everything in your man cave. I'm not. Trust me, I'm not.
Hey. That's why I showed the cameras, my dude.
He's prepared. You think he's not prepared for this?
I'm prepared.
He's beyond prepared. Listen, real quick, what did you think about since we talked about it, Jabril Peppers being out there? He had a nice couple punt returns. He was kind of banged up, but I think he's gonna be good for next week.
He'll be fine, and that's kind of who I was thinking about after I told you the Odell story. I don't know. I just think, put him back there, makes things happen. He's done it before, so we'll see what he has to offer. I like it. I really do.
Bradley, listen, I know LPG has explained this a lot, but you've typed it a couple times, so I'm going to bring it up. I feel like this should be the last time in this man's life he has to do this, his DJ draft reaction. He's done it so many times.
I have no problem talking about that. I don't understand why people talk about this like they talk about Barkley being the number 2 pick. Here's the deal. I'll say it again. Did I want Daniel Jones? Yes. Did I want him at 6? No. I wanted Josh Allen, period. No, actually, that's not even true. When the Raiders picked Farrell, whatever his name is, there were 2 people left, my guy and Josh Allen. I wanted, what's the name of the Buccaneers?
It's not. Is it Devin Bush or it's Devin something?
No, Devin. Devin. Him.
Devin. We'll keep it at Devin.
Oh my God.
Dude from LSU.
Anyway, I wanted him so bad I could taste it, and then the Bucks went and they took him, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm cool with it." Josh Allen on the board. The Giants need an immediate impact player. Here we go. And when Goodell said Giants select, I I was like mouthing Josh Allen with him, and I couldn't understand why he was saying someone different. I was like, what do you mean? So I was not happy it wasn't Josh Allen. However, everybody thinks it was against Daniel Jones. How wrong you are, because if you follow me, I posted a picture with Daniel Jones the night before at the Draft Hotel, and I said, the new Giant at 17. So I don't want to hear that. It doesn't matter to me that people keep bringing it up. I guess they want me to, tell the story. Bradley wants to hear it again. I got no problem with it. Just know that it wasn't against Daniel Jones. Didn't want him at 6. That's the way it is.
Exactly. Ligma here, since you actually talked about impact player on defense, I like the way the Giants D-line performed on Monday. It definitely surprised me. And Ligma with the question, what do you think about how the D-line performed against the Steelers on Monday?
I mean, how do you not like what they've done? I think Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams with a sack, baby. Let's go.
Yo, that's more than he had last year.
Go. So look, I mean, I wouldn't jump for joy. They're playing a 50-year-old quarterback. So I wouldn't go, all out crazy, and they have some linemen hurt. So you know what? I'll tell you what. Let's just give it a grade of a B- to a B, and I'll let you know after next week.
What'd you think about Lorenzo Carter?
I think Lorenzo Carter proved that Lorenzo Carter. You know what Lorenzo Carter's come out game was?
Which one?
The damn Giants game. The blue-white game. He sacked Daniel Jones like 3 times.
Like 5 times?
Right, whatever he did. The point is, he's here to stay. I think Lorenzo Carter is going to be very good. And I remember talking about him last time I was on here. Lorenzo Carter and X-Man. X-Man and Lorenzo Carter. Who's going to be the impact guy? It looks like it's Lorenzo Carter.
I mean, if any of you guys in the comments are into PFF, they rank Lorenzo Carter as the 10th best edge rusher week 1.
Yeah, Lorenzo Carter's the real deal. I hope he just continues it throughout the year and doesn't disappear. I mean, it's football season. Football season is a long season, man.
Shout out to Giants Opinion Sports in here. He's one of my channel members. He says, yes, license plate guy. I love your stories, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, look, I've been around the game a long time. If there's anything I can bring you, it's stories.
It's stories. So listen, I feel like we focus a lot on the Steelers right now. Let's look ahead to the Bears. All right. What are you looking for to happen in the Bears? For me, the one main thing, we got to get Saquon going.
Yeah, the one thing that I'm looking forward to hearing is why the Bears made the switch from Trubisky to Foles. Because if they make the switch from Trubisky to Foles, it's meaning the Giants just absolutely destroyed him.
You talking about in-game?
I want them. If not, maybe they make the switch the third game versus whoever they freaking play. But that's my ultimate goal, is to bring the real Mitch Trubisky out in him on Sunday. I think
because listen, that Bears comeback surprised everybody last week.
Of course it did. Of course. You know what, people? Another thing that we're talking on social media about was Washington football team being 1-0. So what? The Eagles lost that game. So what? First of all, the Eagles lost the game. They played like crap. They gave up 1,000,000 sacks. Washington's not going anywhere again. Although I definitely don't like that 99 guy. He's freaking good. I don't even know his name.
I know you want him to be a bust, man.
I don't want to know his name. Don't tell me
you wanted 99 to be a bust, man.
He's going to be a bust. He's going to get hurt. I don't want anybody to get hurt. But I believe that the Giants will figure it out. They'll be 1-1 and sitting atop the division after Sunday.
What do you think about Washington in general? You think that D-line performance was a fluke?
No, I don't. I think that when you get one guy in the draft like a Chase Young.
No, I mean like a 99. We're not saying his name.
Oh yeah, we're not saying his name. Like a 99. You have to not only rotate your tight end to that side, you not only have your tackle to help out, but you might even have to send your running back there, which leaves Ryan Kerrigan, all these other dudes to go after the quarterback, and God forbid you blitz. you gotta defend that. So, that's why I never understood why people threw Leonard Williams under the bus. Leonard Williams is a damn good football player. And when he has to be double teamed,
He was double teamed
making a play.
67% of the time last year. People don't realize that.
So somebody else is making a play. And it's not the guy who makes the play. Leonard Williams gets double teamed. Here comes Blake Martinez for a sack. Yay, we love Blake. The hell, Leonard Williams just took a double team so he can make that sack.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're good. I don't think they're better than the Giants.
I think we're still sweeping them, and people got on me for still saying that. I've been saying that since before the season. I still think we're sweeping them.
To be honest with you, if the Giants have 6 wins, I hope they come 2 versus freaking Washington, 2 versus the Eagles, and 2 versus Dallas.
It's looking like we might be able to sweep the Eagles too. Like I've been saying since April, that team's going to be terrible because they got no depth, and then all the injuries start falling. Injury after injury.
That's the last freaking team I'm going to say anything about. We haven't beat them since 1980.
Shout out to Nikki in the chat, another one of my channel members. She says LPG never answered me what giant he met that left him in shock. I'm guessing this is probably from a previous stream.
Nikki, I'm sorry. I don't remember you asking me that. What? You know what? That's a phenomenal question. And I'm going to answer it because I actually have an answer. I'm surprised I never answered that for you. I have met this giant 10, 12, a dozen times, at least a dozen. Every time I meet him, speechless, like an idiot, like a baby. Who is it?
I would have to guess LT.
Nope. LT and I got a great LT story for you. I'm gonna say this why people are guessing who that giant is. So I'm friendly with LT. So I see him at this huge convention, this autograph convention. And I'm backstage and we're talking and we're blah, blah, blah. I'm telling him a story. He's telling me a story. And he's just a really funny dude, right? So he goes out to his line of people and starts signing, sitting at a table. Must have 200 people in his line. And I got to go. I got to go. I was kind of waiting. Maybe he wanted to grab something to eat. But you know what? I'm not waiting no more. Okay, I got to go. I'm starving. I'm out, LT. So I'm like, oh, man, do I just say, LT, I see you, or do I go up to him? And, I was like, let me be a man about it. I'm going to go up to him, whisper in his ear, yo, I'm out of here, bro. Like, hit me up. So I was like, yo, in his ear, LT, I'm out, man. Have a good day. He turns and he goes, now, I hope no one gets offended by this. He's like, no, I'm not going to the strip club with you. Yo, mad embarrassing, bro. Mad embarrassing. I'm like, come on, man. The first 25, 35, whatever, 50 people that heard it laughing, like, come on, like, you play me like that. I just turned around and walked out. But he is a hilarious dude. Anyway, Dwight Howard. Who said Dwight Howard?
That's Ligma, bro. He's joking. But yeah.
Somebody said Dwight Howard. Somebody said Landon Collins. Somebody said Justin Tuck. No, all those guys are they're my friends, not Dwight Howard. But the answer is Eli Manning.
That would have been my second guess.
Oh, Bradley. Yeah. Bradley said it as I said it. So I mean, it's not like he doesn't know me. Like he always says, hey, LPG. And I'm like, did he just say LPG? Like, I don't know. There's something about him that's just different from everybody else. Like he's on like some different platform. And I really get
like he is. It's just the way he carries himself, the way he is.
Yeah, I guess so. I just am a different fan when I'm around him. I will tell you one of the greatest things that I've ever done in my entire life was I was able to get on the field after Super Bowl 46 and make snow angels in the confetti and I was all over the place. It was the greatest thing in the world. But I hugged Eli Manning before he went into the locker room. And it was a different feeling, bro. Like, no homo. I mean, a different freaking feeling.
Mm-hmm. When was the first time you met Eli, and what was that like?
A camp Albany, and it was good. I was a lot younger.
Were you in shock then as well, or did that take time?
No. He was just, you're automatically shocked because not many times does your team draft number one. So it already comes, with like this aura. He had an aura about him no matter what. I don't think it was until few years in, I don't know. Maybe that aura right off the bat. I don't know, man. I think I always been a little crazy around that dude. I mean, he's just a different breed, that's all.
Bradley says, can I get a follow back since I guessed it right? Bradley, listen.
It'd be what he said. I'd literally be the coolest kid in school. Yo, Bradley, yo, let me make you a video on Twitter or something, man. You can show it in school. Like, yo, Bradley's my dude.
There you go, Bradley. There you go. It's at this man on Twitter. And we got Talking Sports with Muzz. Every time you come on the channel, everybody's like, what is your channel?
Oh, you know what? So I'm not, I have a day job. I have this, I have that. I see you, you're telling me you got work and this and that. We could do it after work. Like, especially during this time, like no one has time to spare like that. And I just feel like in all kidding aside, talking sports with us, right? I just feel like it would take over my life. I don't think I could stop talking. Like, I would just tell stories until midnight, and I'd never get up at 5 o'clock for work. So I got to keep myself somewhat grounded. I love my Twitter. I love my Instagram. I love my Facebook. My license plate on Facebook. I love all that. I feel like if I started to do other stuff, I do have this True Blue podcast that some other guy, Mike Vivolo, is running right now. And I just feel like if I did stuff like that, I wouldn't have a life. And I'll never do fantasy because of that.
You'll never do fantasy football because of that.
Never. It would crush me, bro. And I'm not having anybody. I wouldn't have a non-giant on my team anyway. So it doesn't matter.
Heard. Shout out to Nikki. Thank you for the love there, Nikki. Mark Primetime, the Cowboys fan, says, I saw you on the Monday Night Football documentary where you were on the field for the Super Bowl. That is super cool. Which Monday Night Football documentary was that?
I've done a few like NFL Network and NFL and NBC Sports and stuff like that did some stories on LPG, and it was a lifelong thing that came true. I'll end this because I got to go in a minute. I'll end this by telling you a really cool story. So Super Bowl 40, I don't know if I told you this, Super Bowl 42, the Giants, oh my God, guy, the game ends. I am literally sitting with Zach Diassi's family. Okay. So at the end of the game, Zach Diassi comes over to the section that I'm in, and he starts telling me the security, that's my family, get them on the field. So here comes his sister, his mom, and these people are going down the stairs right in front of me. And the security guard looks at me and he says, hey, now or never. And I said, oh, no, I'm not part of the family. And he closed the gate, and I cried for days, yo. I cried for days. This guy literally said, let's go. And I was honest. And I said, oh, no, and I'm not. I can't even tell you how long I regretted that decision. And I never thought that I would have another opportunity to do something like that. And just a few short 4 years later, it happened. And I was very close with the Blackburn family and the Jacobs family and the Tollefson's family. And I believe it was Meg Tollefson that was climbing over the wall. And a security guard came over and said, you can't do it. I'm like, that's a player's wife, as I'm climbing with her. So that was my story for the 2 Super Bowls. And I will, even if I got arrested after the Snow Angel, I would have no problem. Here you go. Let's go. It would have been fine. It was well worth it.
Shout out to PTA Sports. He says LPG in the house. I know you said you got to go soon. I'm going to end it off with 2 questions. The first one, Justin Tuck is not eligible to get into the Hall of Fame. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Great question, man. He's on the bubble. I believe, do you put Humanure in there? If Justin goes, it is a It is a good question. I don't know what the answer is. Did you see my quote on my stairs?
No, I did not actually. What does it say?
I put him in the Hall of Fame just for this. Oh, where is it?
How bad y'all want it today? Oh, that speech?
Yeah, it made it to the wall.
It's amazing.
That's the number one. Someone tells me the number one speech. How bad y'all want it today?
Mm-hmm.
Chris, you ain't got a ring. You don't know what it feel like.
You
I
know
love
what it's
that.
like to be there. Real quick, this is the list of the Giants that are eligible this year. Justin Tuck, Tiki Barber, Chris Snee, Jeremy Shockey, and then 2 punters, Jeff Feagles and Sean Landetta. Is Justin Tuck making the cut out of that group?
I mean, I don't know who makes that. I know. I think Jeff Feagles is going to get into the Hall of Fame as a punter. I really do. I think he's got Ray Guy numbers. Ray Guy is in from the Raiders. I would love Justin Tuck to get a gold jacket. I really would. It's gonna be cool to see what happens with this draft class.
And then the final question. We all know that this man was planning a huge Giants meetup, a Giants get-together tailgate. Fortunately, did not work out. What's happening with a potential second one to kind of swing around that?
So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I got shut down by the NFL. They just didn't want to give me the broadcasting rights to show the game. I'm certainly not going to throw a tailgate party and not show the game. So I'm trying to do something. I think I'm going to hold off and let it mean something like a Dallas game or a Philly game. Something
I think
like
the last game of the season is against Dallas.
Correct. Just something like that would be pretty cool. Could you imagine the tailgate happening and we have a shot at the playoffs? Yeah, I said it. Playoffs. So who knows? But I will do something, I promise, before the end of the year for all Giant fans.
Well, thank you, LPG, for coming on, man. You spared us a good time. Man gave us 2 more stories that he hasn't given before. That my favorite one was jumping the fence with the player's wife. As he's jumping, he's like, "Listen, that's a player's wife. Leave us alone."
Yeah. It's exactly what happened, bro. It's exactly what happened.
Exactly.
Y'all, come on. I appreciate it, man. Anytime you want me on, man, you got some good followers there, and I'll come on and tell you stories all day, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Thanks for being on. Any last thoughts before you dip?
Yeah, the Giants going to playoffs.
You heard it here first from LPG. Thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to all y'all, and we're out.
Say no more.